That does something weird every once in a while. No, I still can't hear you. Connected to audio.
Can you hear me now?
Um,
No?
yeah.
Yeah? Hey, I don't know. I don't care. Whatever, it works.
You
So
just press buttons.
I just pushed a lot of buttons. I'm like, does this work? Does it work now? Can you hear me now?
Oh, I'm so glad John's not here. I'm technologically
Challenged. Me too.
confused. Well, it's great to see you. I'm so excited to interview you. And we haven't really talked, but Christina has quite a story. Since we started coaching a few months ago, she, over a period of time, found out she has quite a bit of sensitivities to quite a bit of things. And it is, from what I understand, answering a lot of questions for her about her health. So I wanted to start off just kind of backtracking a little bit, because when we started this journey, this was not what we were kind of focused on or thinking about, really. I mean, we were kind of talking about relationship and life and, our passions and work and all that kind of stuff and how they all relate. And so I just wanted to backtrack first and kind of go back to the beginning, which was like starting through kind of thinking about your desires, thinking through kind of your first, we did something that was a visualization. Do you remember? It was very wild, very natural. Christina, it was hippie Christina. And I think that's very interesting now as we find out what her body has told her. This is amazing, you guys. Like, this is amazing. And so, what have you learned along this journey of, like, as you've learned about receiving?
So it's actually really interesting because I think about that visualization a lot, in especially the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Like in this visualization, it was like, Christina, if you could live anywhere and do anything without concern of anybody else, what would that look like? And I was like, I would literally live naked in a forest and live off the land and wear leaves. And it was like, it was kind of weird to me because I'm like, I love clothes. I buy clothes all the time. Like, I love shopping. And but honestly, I kind of feel like my body was trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
Because I'm quite literally like allergic to clothes, a lot of fabrics and synthetic things that like just a lot, like a lot of things that are in our water treatments, things that are used on our fruits and vegetables and meats that are completely natural to eat, but because they have preservatives on them and they aren't just grown from the ground and eaten fresh, I am allergic to them. So that has been kind of interesting. I feel like my body has been screaming at me for a while now, and I have been pushing off to the side because I'm a mom and I'm a wife and I never put myself first. And now my body's like, well, guess what? Guess what? You like have no choice, but like you put yourself first or die. So
That's my story too.
And I don't know, I'm gonna be real, like I don't know if I would have listened. Honestly, I we've been working together for I don't know how long. It's been like 7 or 8 months or something like that. And you've really helped me kind of tap into tuning into myself and listening to my feelings and hearing myself and accepting myself and allowing myself to sit at the table, so to speak. And if I hadn't started this journey with you, I honestly probably would have been like, oh, what? So that's a rash. Who cares? Oh, what? So your stomach is blistering when you wear a belt. No big deal.
I didn't know any of this.
So it's just been interesting because now it's, I always MacGyver things and just make do and push past what I really want and really need and really feel, because that's just what I've always done. And now I'm at that point where I've done it for too long and now I have to listen to my body. And yeah, it's been pretty intense.
Yeah, it does sound very challenging. Would you talk a little bit about what exactly, how did you end up like going in for this testing? What led to that?
Honestly, I had a rash on my arms and behind my ears and on my chest, and it looked very similar to a rash that a customer had when they came in. So my initial thought for going to the doctor was, I want to make sure that I don't have something that's contagious.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to pass it on to my other customers. And when I went in, they were basically like, oh no, this is an allergy. So we need to get allergy tested. And I had been putting that off for a couple years. So I finally went in and I got allergy tested. And then I had, it was like a 3-month wait. So I had to wait. And in the meantime, I came down with this horrible asthma attack where I couldn't breathe and I was in and out of the ER for a couple weeks. It was pretty scary because nobody could really tell what was going on. My body was fine. Everything's fine. I always go to the doctor and like, your blood's fine. Everything's fine. You're fine. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Not fine.
I'm not fine.
Yeah.
But so I honestly didn't realize that a lot of my issues had to do with my allergies, because I didn't realize that we have so many chemicals in our foods that were causing like my fatigue.
Yeah.
Yes. I've always talked about how I just want to have more energy and I'm always trying to lose weight to have more energy. And yeah, so I finally made it in for I did environmental testing and I did chemical testing, and I'm, quite literally allergic to pretty much everything environmental that's around me right now. And chemically, I'm only allergic to like 7 different things out of 40, which really isn't that bad.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there's 7 different things that are kind of common in a lot of what we use today. So preservatives and fabric dyes, and they're all things that are in hair products and colors and lightnings and stuff like that, but they're also used for a lot of other things, including like B supplements, which I've always been really big on B supplements to have more energy.
Oh.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's how that all came about.
Okay.
Just a rash.
So, how did you, how is your health affecting your life?
I would say like for the past like 3 years, I've just been really struggling. I've been really, really exhausted. I've had a chronic cough, chronic heartburn. I never have the energy to, get healthy, or work out or function properly. Like, I feel like I've always had a lot of like brain fog.
Right.
I'm just not present in the moment or focused on what I'm doing unless I'm being forced to. Like at work, I loved work because it was the thing that got me in the present moment, because I had to be focused on what I was doing. But like in my life outside of work, I was off in la la land most of the time. And it's really hard when you have kids and a husband and you want to do all the things that you love. So it's nice to kind of see that like my brain fog's starting to go away and I'm remembering things that I couldn't remember before. I'm starting to have more energy. It's a bit of a roller coaster because it is a detox. I didn't realize much is in our food that's affecting us on a daily basis, and how dependent our bodies are on it. So, you know, I have my highs and my lows where I'm like on top of the world, and then the next minute I'm crying because I can't find my phone charger and the world's gonna end.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so it's, you know, it has been a long time coming, and I've been searching for answers for a very long time. And I never in a million years thought that it could possibly be due to allergies.
Yeah. It's, I actually, so just in listening to your story, we haven't really connected since you found out all this stuff. I've just kind of been seeing it on Facebook.
Mhm.
And I started thinking, wow, like this is not at all which direction I thought we were going in. You know, we talk a lot about, you know, your marriage and relationship and work and yeah, energy level or like mental health and
Mhm.
like tools for dealing with stress and putting yourself first and your desires, and which is hard enough. But you did switch jobs, and
Mhm.
I find it interesting that did you say you said something about your new color line that you're using is okay or
So I feel very fortunate that I'm working where I'm working at right now because I have really supportive boss. She's absolutely amazing, and the manager, everybody's been super supportive. I did find a color line that doesn't have those allergens, so we're looking into, and she is willing to switch
great?
completely to that new color line. Um, there are a lot of other details involved in that because, you know, it doesn't have gray coverage, and it doesn't have, so we'll still have to use some of the other colors in the salon in order to achieve for those clients that need it. So it's I'm looking at a lot of different options, but my boss has even been like, I have a eyelash extension studio and we'd be willing to train you in that.
Nice.
A lot of support and a lot of different options as far as like making sure that I do what's best for me and what's healthy for me. And I feel very fortunate. Making a switch to a new salon is always kind of hard.
Yeah.
And um, it was a little scary when I did make that switch, but I feel like I'm in just the perfect position to kind of go through this because I have so much support and love and acceptance on who I am, no matter what's going on in my life.
Yeah, and how would that have been different at your previous place?
I would have had to quit. There would have been no, switching color lines is very expensive.
Yeah.
I also can't control, as my own boss, I can't control what other people do.
Around.
Switch color lines as well
Yeah.
to keep the fumes, in such a enclosed space. It just wouldn't have been, it wouldn't have been an option. I would have had to been like, okay, I'm going back to like food service or something. Like, I definitely wouldn't have had the opportunities that I have now and the options that I have now if I hadn't made that switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy how it all happened.
Yes.
It's kind of insane because it was such a last minute decision. I was like, I need to make more money. What about this salon? 2 weeks later, I'm in a new salon. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It was just really kind of weird how it all happened. And then what, a month later, I start getting these tests done. And yeah, it's been kind of crazy.
Yeah, one reason I wanted to talk about your work a little bit is because I feel that there's a lot of women who might think that I'm kind of only interested in women staying home like I do,
Mm,
or misconception. And I wanted to explain that that's my orgasmic life. Like that's what is orgasmic for me.
mhm,
That's what I enjoy, and that's not going to be what everybody enjoys. You know, my coaching is more, it's just so, it's more about finding your orgasmic brand, basically, like
mhm.
who you want to be, who, you know, what makes you feel good, what's going to make you be able to receive all the pleasure in the world. And yours has ended up on a health journey, you know, but how can you receive pleasure until you can get rid of some of the pain? It's
Yep.
so hard
Mhm.
to really receive from the people around us the love, the care. Sometimes we can't even see it or feel it because we're distracted by a lot of pain and feelings, hard feelings. And then we have like this set of glasses, kind of a dark set of glasses, that we see everything through a dark lens in a way. So how have you noticed, just with like, how's your support? How is it feeling to feel supported in this? And um,
It's been amazing. I remember when I first got the opportunity with this job, the first person I reached out to was you. I was like, what do I do? Oh my God. I mean, it helps that you were also a hairstylist, so you understood that part of the business. But um, it really, I feel like having that support where I could go like, okay, let's do a session so we can talk about what's really going on. Because we have sometimes, especially for me, I have these like kind of crazy wild ideas, and I just like fly by the seat of my pants, and I'm like,
she's a
let's do
wild girl.
it. Like a little bit crazy there. But so having someone to kind of like go, okay, Christina, well, what are you feeling? Like, what's going on? What's really going on?
Yeah.
And like, what are your goals? And are you going to achieve them by doing this? And are you doing it for the right reasons? And so kind of digging deep into what I really needed and what I really wanted and what I was feeling and what's going to be best for me. I feel like definitely the sessions that we have had have helped me go in the right direction. And I'm very thankful for that. I feel like probably for the first time in my life, I am supported. I have a huge support system, between you and going into a very healthy relationship at my work.
Mhm.
And then working a lot on me has helped me have a more supportive relationship at home.
Mm.
Um, because I've always been a bit of a princess. And Buffy has helped me become a queen. Um, and really, communicating with my husband in a way that is healthy because I've never really had a healthy relationship. So that was always really hard for me to communicate because of my previous relationships. Um, and so being able to go like, okay, now this is what I need, this is what I want, this is how I'm feeling, and doing it in such a way that doesn't demean my husband, because I was very good at that, has really helped me get the support that I need. And I'll tell you what, like if I did not have the support system set up right now, like I do not know how I would make it through this, honestly.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Um, because it is such a lifestyle change and it's not by choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so having those tools under my belt to really create a support system at work and at home um, have really been a huge part of getting what I need in life.
Would would you be like, would you be willing to share a little bit more specifically, like maybe an example of how you have communicated how you're feeling or what you need to your husband and then been able to receive it and that's different than before?
Before I would kind of be a bit of a bitch. I don't know if I can say that on here.
Yeah.
I, but I would kind of expect him to know what I needed without telling him. And I'd get very upset if he didn't.
Right.
And I'd give him clues, or
Right.
I'd say things with expectations that he would just understand what I needed and give it to me. And I really pushed him away by doing that. And so I've switched that to now I tell him how I'm feeling and allow him to be the man and fix my feelings for me. I don't know if that's quite the right wording, but
Yeah.
like for example, normally on Sundays, my husband watches football. It's like, whatever, I get kind of upset about it. And this Sunday, I was like, I really feel like I'd love to just kind of get out of the house today. And he was like, okay, well, let's go to Chilkoot and grab a coffee and sit down and relax. And
Really?
yeah, and it actually worked out great because we went to this little coffee shop in Chilkoot and we sat on the couch and they just happened to have the football game on. So it was like, it was kind of perfect for both of us. But I'm starting to kind of go like, okay, I need to share, because I didn't share. I just bottled up and it pent up and then it blew up and I
Yes.
was crying and he was mad and we were fighting. like as opposed to me just going like, I'm feeling really claustrophobic today.
Yeah.
I'd really like to be outside, and all of a sudden he's like, okay, well, let's go do this.
It's like, huh?
Yeah.
Right? Does it, to me, it's like, huh, this is easy.
Yeah, it's extremely easy. Like, and even with all my allergies, not everybody's going to eat like me the whole time. And so
Yeah.
there was one day where it's like, I'm feeling really left out
Yeah.
because you guys are eating this amazing food and I'm eating like chicken and potatoes. So he was like, okay, well, so for family dinners, we're going to make organic family dinners. And that dinner will always be organic so that we'll do that every single week. And then you'll have food to eat for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
So it has switching up my communication style and sharing my feelings, which is, that in itself is really freeing. Instead of just holding my emotions in, just sharing, I feel really sad right now. And all of a sudden I have arms around me that I didn't realize were there to be around me. You know what I mean? It's definitely helping me. It's helping my relationship. And I feel like it's helping my husband because I feel like he's manning up a bit, for lack of a better word,
Yeah. How does it feel when he makes those decisions? You just tell him how you feel and then he decides, well, the whole family's going to eat organic then.
Yeah, it makes me feel like he cares. Like there's been quite a few years where I really feel like he didn't give a shit. And now I'm like, oh wait, he does listen. He does listen. He does hear me. Okay, I don't have to be a sports telecaster for him to hear what I say. Just have to let him know how I feel. But no, it's definitely helped. I mean, I can't imagine if I was still communicating the way that I was before, how this would probably not go so well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for you. I'm so excited. I really relate because, I'm just trying to learn how to sleep. So just my sleep journey is very difficult. So John has hooked me up with all the technologies and I'm tracking everything and working with my doctor. I have asked for help for like making a list of all of my problems. John comes into the doctor with me and helps speak for me because I'm literally on medication all the time. I have a very hard time focusing at the doctor to get through to what I need,
Mhm.
So he's really become a part um, of my health journey. And yeah, I can't imagine. Even last night, I had a terrible trying a new medication. I have a terrible reaction, and I said, and I in the middle, the lights are off, and I know he's probably asleep, and I'm like, I need help. I need help making decisions right now because this drug is really dopey and it's giving me a migraine, and I have all these medication interactions that could happen, and I'm scared, and I just need I love the sound of the kids. So like, yeah, there's days when I'm just crying thinking, I don't know how much longer I can do this. Like, but just knowing like I'm supported, I can continue to communicate how I'm feeling and get that support, get what I need, get hugs in the moment when I just need them.
Mhm.
And it's absolutely life-changing for me. So I'm so happy for you. I hope that it gets easier as you continue to learn. I know that you're reaching out also. I've noticed on Facebook for help from any scientists that know anything. Yeah, I could see you like literally like educating so many people about the subject.
It's
And
not, in doing research, I'm starting to realize there's not a lot out there on it. There's not like anything. There's nothing. There's like you Google these things and it's like,
nothing.
so I guess I'm one in a million.
Yeah,
But there are other people out there who will, if not, um, you know, have realized that they have these issues, will find out that they do. Um, I have a feeling this is actually pretty common and people just don't know.
yeah,
I would have never, if I was not a hairstylist, I would have never been tested for these chemicals.
yeah,
Never.
yeah.
So that to me is kind of insane, actually.
Yeah.
But anyway.
What do you see? What's next for you? What are you seeing coming up that you're excited about?
Potential career change. Blog. I've started a blog. I actually started a blog and I've been like, what am I going to write about? What am I going to write about? I want to write about sustainability, natural. And then all this happened. So I was like, well, I guess that kind of fits.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm gonna, it's, I want to try to document things as they go.
Yeah.
And then just focusing on getting through like this detox phase. I really didn't realize how much was in our food. Like I feel like I'm going through like a drug detox sometimes where I'm dizzy or I'm faint or it's just my body's like, hello, where are these hormones you've been giving me for 39 years? And you're just me off. What?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize, like, I'm going to be real with you guys. I thought like organic was a hoax. I was like, whatever, they're just trying to sell us really expensive vegetables,
Yeah.
like vegetables. What difference could it really make?
Yeah.
So now I'm starting to see, and I kind of almost feel like this is a bit of karma because I have had friends who have gone through allergies and I'm like, oh, they're just overreacting. I'm like, no, they're not. Like, this is actually real. I'm like, sorry. But
It can be so judgy.
yeah, I guess it's humbled me a little bit. But I think a lot of educating people and kind of sharing my story, I feel like is going to be important to the future of a lot of people's future and their health. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like I've been trying to get healthy for so long, and a lot of the things that I was doing to get healthy were the things that were actually harming me. And I just had no clue because
Christina?
that's what, like, what was that?
Oh, I was wondering if you would want to share your blog with everybody.
Yeah, it's called Nature's Patience.
Okay.
I have to, and now that
Patience as in, how do you spell it?
let me make
Like
sure.
the word like having patience? Or as a patient?
Like having patience. Let
Okay.
me make sure that I spelled it right. Nature's. Yeah, it's supposed to be like having patience.
Okay. So Patience.
Yeah, Patience. Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then I wanted to know, just to be sure, so we're asking you, like, if we have people in this group that want to reach out to you, have questions, is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I feel your passion for sure. And definitely want to, anybody who's interested or just has questions, or to have someone to go to for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not an expert on the subject yet. I'm still learning myself, but I've definitely done a lot of research and
Yeah.
made a lot of changes. So
Yeah.
definitely happy to help. Even if you aren't having issues and you're just curious, like, what are we eating? I'm more than happy to kind of educate that too.
To end on what you just said, like, I'm not an expert, something I've really learned from this book is that as a woman, you are the expert on your body.
It's true.
Experts have let us down quite a bit because of the female body is connected in every way, shape, and form. It's connected to our emotions, our feelings, our spirit, everything is connected. So that's what's so amazing about how your first visualization coming out of your body, screaming for nature. You know, you had this bent, you had this just natural desire. It was something that makes you happy, that makes you feel good and peaceful. And it kind of all started there. The body knows a lot of things. It's not up necessarily here in our logic and in our brain. And a lot of the work that I do is getting women back into their body, listening to their body, because we are the expert of our body.
Mhm.
We can be the expert of our body, our individual body. So more than anybody else, we will know, you know, our hormone cycles are different, our wombs are different. Individually, we're all similar, but so very different. So I just want to thank you so much for your time today, and just for offering like your experience and everything that you've gone through, and just your vulnerability about how, like, this is hard work. This is not easy. It hurts. You go through times of a lot of deep emotion.
Mhm.
And sometimes at first, when we're kind of getting better and we're getting into healing, it kind of gets worse.
Mhm.
You know, but when we learn to build that support system with our husband, our friends, we can do it. So I'm so proud of you. Let me know whenever you need me again, for anything. And is there anything else you want to say?
No, I don't think so. We covered a lot.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, thank you. Have a great
thank
day.
you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
So there you go, folks. I hope that you enjoyed that. It went a bit longer than I had planned, but it felt like Christina's journey has been so amazing. Just I had no idea, like, that's the direction we would end up going in. And with every woman, I think there's sometimes kind of like you start something and you have something in mind of where you want to go or what you want, and you kind of uproot all these other things, almost like kind of weeding a garden, like we're weeding out some of this other stuff so that, a plant that's been a little lifeless or a little bit not growing at its potential can start to get all the nourishment from the soil and get sun. Sometimes you're cutting out branches so that this plant of yourself can get sun and water and everything that it needs to thrive. So yeah, if you have even, I mean, I definitely have health issues. If you have health issues, want to talk to me about health issues and start working on your health, we can go in that direction. Your health is it's going to directly affect your life in every way, shape, or form, because it's going to affect your relationships with others and with yourself. So I love this work. I love seeing results like this. I don't ever really know what's going to happen, but I do know that good things come out of getting in touch with your feminine energy. And I know it's a little different. I know it might be a little weird. It's not something that maybe you've heard of before, but it really, I mean, honestly, since I have discovered it, it actually feels so natural for me. I almost feel like I was living outside of myself most of my life, outside of who I actually really am and how I really feel and what I really need or what I really want. So I'm just trying to, I don't know, I guess I'm committed to sharing this with others. And I'm available anytime. I work within your budget and do sessions that are about an hour, hour and a half at most. We can also first do like a kind of a first get to know each other call. And I'll be very honest if I think that I have what you're looking for or that I can work with you. And if I don't, I'm really into sending you in a direction toward who I think might actually benefit you more. I really don't believe that I am the answer to all things. And for me, what makes my life orgasmic and the coaching orgasmic is that I am a housewife who doesn't need to make money. So I can do this completely straight out of my heart because I love it and because I just want to share. It makes me feel amazingly purposeful and good. And I love that I can work within someone's budget because some of the women who need the most help don't have the most money. And I have been there. So I'm definitely willing to work with you. Have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed this. Bye-bye.